Hello, amazing friends. Do you want to discover how a young boy became one of the most important leaders in history? Get ready to uncover the incredible story of George Washington. A tale so thrilling it will make your mind sparkle with dopamine. This isn't just any history lesson, it's a journey into the life of a true legend, whose decisions shaped a nation and still influence us today. You'll hear about his brave adventures and smart choices that changed the world. Let's dive in. Let's start our amazing journey in 1732. George Washington was born on February 22, 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia. His family was quite wealthy, owning a large farm. Sadly, when George was just 11 years old, his father, Augustine Washington, passed away. This was a very hard time for young George. After his father's death, his older half-brother Lawrence Washington became like a father figure to him. Lawrence lived at Mount Vernon, a beautiful estate that George would later inherit and make famous. George did not go to college like many rich boys at that time. Instead, he learned a lot at home and through practical experience. He loved to read and learn about farming and managing land. This early life, though sometimes difficult, helped him become strong and independent. As a young man, George showed great skill and bravery. At the age of 16, he started working as a surveyor. A surveyor measures land, which was a very important job in colonial America, because new lands were constantly being explored and settled. He traveled into the wilderness, facing many challenges like wild animals and harsh weather. This experience taught him a lot about the land and how to survive in tough conditions. It also gave him a good understanding of the geography of Virginia, which would be very useful later in his military career. His hard work and dedication quickly made him well known and respected. In his early 20s, George Washington started his military career. In 1753, he was sent on a mission to deliver a message to the French, asking them to leave land that the British claimed in the Ohio Valley. This mission was dangerous but successful in showing his courage. Then, in 1754, he led a small force of Virginia soldiers against the French. This marked the beginning of the French and Indian War, a big war between Great Britain and France with their Native American allies, fighting for control of North America. Washington gained valuable experience during this war, even though he faced some defeats. He learned a lot about military strategy and how to lead soldiers. His bravery during a battle in 1755, where he narrowly escaped death, made him a hero in Virginia. After the French and Indian War, George Washington returned to Mount Vernon. In 1759, he married Martha Dandridge Custis, a wealthy widow with 2 children. Martha was a kind and intelligent woman, and their marriage was a happy one. George never had his own biological children, but he adopted Martha's children as his own and loved them deeply. He became a successful farmer and a respected member of the Virginia House of Burgesses, which was the colonial legislature. He managed his large estate at Mount Vernon, growing tobacco and other crops. During this time, he became more and more concerned about the unfair taxes and policies that Great Britain was imposing on the American colonies. As tensions grew between the American colonies and Great Britain, George Washington became a strong voice for colonial rights. He believed that the British government was treating the colonists unfairly, especially with taxes like the Stamp Act and the Townshend Acts. These taxes were imposed without the colonists having any say in the British Parliament. In 1774, he was chosen as a delegate from Virginia to the First Continental Congress, a meeting of representatives from the colonies to discuss their problems with Britain. His leadership skills and his military experience made him a natural choice. When war finally broke out, in 1775, the American Revolutionary War began. The Second Continental Congress chose George Washington to be the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army. This was a huge responsibility, as he was leading an army of untrained and poorly equipped soldiers against the powerful British Army. He faced many challenges, including a lack of supplies, harsh winters, and soldiers who sometimes wanted to go home. However, Washington's leadership, resilience, and strategic thinking were crucial. He inspired his troops and kept them fighting even in the darkest times. His famous crossing of the Delaware River on Christmas night in 1776 led to a surprise attack and a crucial victory at the Battle of Trenton, which greatly boosted American morale. Another key moment was the winter at Valley Forge in 1777-1778, where his army suffered terribly, but Washington's determination held them together. Finally, in 1781, with the help of the French, Washington's army trapped the British at Yorktown, Virginia, leading to a decisive victory and essentially ending the war. After the war, George Washington did something truly remarkable. Instead of trying to become a king or a dictator, he resigned his commission as commander and returned to his farm at Mount Vernon. This act showed his strong belief in Republican principles and civilian control over the military. It sent a powerful message to the world that America would be a nation governed by laws, not by military power. However, the new United States faced many challenges under its first government. The Articles of Confederation. The government was too weak, and the states were not united. Recognizing the need for a stronger national government, Washington was persuaded to come out of retirement. In 1787, he presided over the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia, where a new constitution for the United States was written. His presence lent immense credibility and authority to the proceedings. His calm and steady leadership helped guide the delegates through many difficult debates. In 1789, George Washington was unanimously elected as the first president of the United States. He did not seek the office, but everyone agreed he was the best person for the job. As president, he worked to establish a strong and stable government. He set many important precedents or examples for future presidents. He created a cabinet of advisors, established the Supreme Court, and dealt with foreign policy challenges. He also crushed the Whiskey Rebellion, showing that the new federal government had the authority to enforce its laws. He served 2 terms, from 1789 to 1797. In his farewell address, he advised the American people to avoid political parties and foreign entanglements, advice that is still debated and discussed today. After serving 2 terms, George Washington once again chose to retire from public life, returning to Mount Vernon. He believed that no one person should hold too much power for too long. He died on December 14, 1799 at Mount Vernon at the age of 67. His death was mourned by the entire nation and by many people around the world. He left behind a legacy as the father of his country, a man whose leadership, integrity, and dedication were essential to the founding and early success of the United States. So what an incredible journey, right? From a young surveyor to the command of the first president, George Washington's life is full of lessons about leadership, courage, and serving your country. He wasn't perfect, but his commitment to freedom and building a new nation was truly extraordinary. He showed us that even in the toughest times, with strong leadership and determination, great things are possible. His story reminds us that history is made by people who stand up for what they believe in. Keep exploring, keep learning, and maybe one day your story will be just as inspiring.